Hello everyone, today we will learn how to make a home security system using a servo motor and a PIR sensor. Before moving further, I request everyone to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can receive notifications about our latest videos as soon as we upload it. So let's get started. Now, as you can see on the screen, we have made a controller where we can see the door state and the state of the sensor. Now the door state is unlock and the sensor is off right now. We can change it to lock, that is the door state is changed to lock and the sensor is changed to on. Now first we will learn how to make this controller. So we'll make our controller inside the XAMPP folder. I have explained in the previous videos how to install and use XAMPP. So for clear understanding of XAMPP, please go and watch the previous video. We'll move to htdocs folder. I have made a folder named IoT here. Okay, and here is our servo control. I'll open the index.php. I'm using Sublime Text 3 here. You can use any editor according to your choice. So here is my index.php file. Now you can see I have written some PHP code here. I will come to this part later on. First we will see how we have designed our controller. I have made a video where I have explained how to design a controller. You can go and watch that video for a better understanding of each and everything that is in details how a controller is made. I will cover here very short in a very short format. Okay, so let me come directly to the body part, that is the button part. Here I have made a lock and unlock button. Okay, now my servo data is my variable which has the value of lock, and servo data in the unlock button has a value of unlock. Okay, PIR data is the variable here having value on and off. Now using these values we will control our servo motor as well as PIR sensor. Now let me come to this part. $s underscore file is a simple variable. Fopen is used to open the servo data file, and what we are doing is reading the value from that file. So we are using r here. That means we are reading the value from the file. Again, s data is another variable. Fread means we will read the data from the file. First we have opened the file in read mode, and now we are actually reading the data from the file. Okay, so $s file is the name of the file. As we have declared here, we have opened $s file and we are passing the file size of the file which is servo data. Okay, so here we are writing file size function and name of the file which we want to open, and then all the data from this file has been stored to the variable $s data. We are closing the file. Okay, now we are making an array of all the data that we have stored in the variable $s underscore data. Okay, explode is the function which stores all the data that we have fetched from the file in an array format. $s underscore array is the name of that variable which stores all the data from the file servo underscore data in $s array. Actually we are having only one data, like one word in the servo underscore data file which is either lock or unlock. Okay, so we are storing lock or unlock in $s array. Similarly we have made for p file, that is the data we are storing from the PIR underscore that is PIR underscore data.php. We are making a file named PIR underscore data for storing the on and off of PIR sensor. Okay, so similarly we are opening the file for PIR underscore data in read mode. We are storing all the values in under $p underscore data. We are closing the file and we are storing the values as an array form. Okay, now as you can see here, we have given here lock and sensor on. Okay, which is changing according to the click of the button. Fine, so this is done using this statement. Now we can use PHP in under HTML and HTML under PHP as I have explained in the previous videos. So first we are displaying the value of the value that we have stored in $s underscore array. Okay, so this is the command php for each $s array as $I. That for each command, for each is a function which will loop, like for each is a loop which will go through all the elements that is stored within an array one by one. Okay, so we are having only one element, that is lock or unlock in our array. So $s array is as I, that is we are storing now the values of $s underscore array, each value of $s underscore array as $I, and we are displaying that value which is stored in $I here. Similarly, we are storing each value of p array in the variable I and displaying that variable using the echo statement. So this is how we are making our controller. In short, this is how we are making our controller. For detailed explanation of how everything is working here, please go and watch the previous videos where I have explained in details about the controller. Now we will go to our servo motor coding. Okay. Before that, we need to upload it on webhost. I have already uploaded this file on webhost. Okay, now I have explained how to open an account in webhost app and upload a file or within inside a folder completely in details in a previous video. Please go and watch that video before coming to this so that you can understand how webhost app is actually working. Okay, so now we will go to our servo motor part. We are using Wi-Fi. I have already made a video on servo motor previously, that how servo motor actually work, and each and every details about servo motor. Watch that video for all the connection and everything, and then come to this video so that you can understand it very clearly. Now again, we are controlling the servo motor using a Wi-Fi. I have made a video where I am controlling an LED using Wi-Fi. Okay, this is very similar to that. Instead of LED, I am just using servo motor. So let's understand how it is actually working. Hash include ESP8266 Wi-Fi and ESP8266 HTTP client.h are header files for working with Wi-Fi. Hash include servo.h is the header file for working with servo motor. Hash defines servo D4. D4 is the pin to which our servo motor is attached. An object of servo motor is created. Here I have given my Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password. You have to change it with your Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password. In the void setup is the code which runs only one, serial.begin, and here is the baud rate, Wi-Fi.begin, Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password. Okay, which comes from here, and you need to change the Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password according to your own. MyServo.attach is the function which means that we have attached the servo motor to node MCU. MyServo.write writes, that is changes the angle of the handle of the servo motor. Here the angle is set to 160 degree when the servo motor starts. Now if Wi-Fi is connected, then we will do our actual coding. Okay, now as you remember that this is the http.begin hits the link in which your controller is stored. Okay, now this is the link where I have uploaded my servo motor controller, and this is the servo underscore data is the file from which I will read the value. Int http code, if the link is hit properly, then it will return a code. Now if it is greater than 0, then we will do our actual coding. Now if you can, okay, I will show you what I have done. I have given the data as lock and unlock. Okay, so in the response string here, the response string here we will get either lock or unlock. Okay, now if response is equal to if I am getting lock, then the servo will write at an angle of 160 degree, and if gets unlock, I don't need to mention it because I am having only two values, lock and unlock, so I have given it in the else part. Servo will write an angle of 75 degree, that is the handle of the servo motor will go at an angle of 75 degree. Now if the link is not hit properly, I will simply print the HTTP code, which will be most probably -1. Then HTTP end, because we have started an HTTP link, so we have to end it now. And if the device is not connected with Wi-Fi, then it will continuously go on printing connecting. Okay, so now let's upload our code. and wait for the upload to finish. Meanwhile, I will show you the servo data file from which we are getting our lock and unlock data. So now here it is unlocked right now. I will change the state here to lock. The door state has been changed to lock, and I will refresh this page. So you can see the page has been refreshed to lock. Now let's see whether the code has been uploaded or not. No, it's still uploading. Let's wait for the upload to get finished. Okay, so our file has been uploaded. Now we will see whether it is working properly or not. I'll open my controller, and as you can see on the screen, when I click on lock, okay, it's already locked, so I will click on unlock, and you can see the state of the servo motor changing. Again I will click on lock, and the door state will change again. So now we will understand how our PIR sensor is working. We'll go to the code of PIR sensor. Okay, now here it's the same, that we have included two HTTP header files for connecting to Wi-Fi, as it is also working over Wi-Fi. Next we have given our Wi-Fi name and password. Okay, so here I am using the sensor, that is the output pin of the sensor is attached to the D0 pin. Now I have previously made a video on PIR sensor, so please go and watch that video so that you get to know everything about the PIR sensor, that is how the connection with the different pins are made, and then come to this video and you will understand each and everything about PIR sensor. Has defined LED 1 and LED 2. I'm just using two LEDs to actually show how it will work, like the result part. Okay, so you don't need to bother very much about this. Now void setup, okay, it's simple. Like I'm taking input from sensor, so pin mode is declared as input, and I am giving output to the LED so that it can flash. So it is set as output. Now yes, the same thing, if Wi-Fi is well connected, then we will go for our actual coding. I've declared an object of HTTP client to hit the link. Now in the http.begin, the link has been saved from where we are getting our PIR data, the HTTP code, and in the response we are storing the value as always. Now if response is equal to on, then only we will get the value of digital of our sensor. Now why I have done this thing? Now please listen this very carefully. Now when will our sensor work? The sensor is used here to detect an intrusion in our house. That is, when nobody is there in our house, and if anyone breaks our door and enters the house, then we will get a notification from the sensor. Okay, now if everyone is in the house, okay, then we can simply switch off the sensor, because if anyone breaks the door and enters the house, we will be already inside the house, and we will get to know that yes, somebody has entered our house. So we don't need the sensor when we are present inside the house, and we can switch off the sensor from here. That's why I have given a on and off function for the sensor. When we are outside the house and no one is there in the house, then we will simply turn on the sensor from here. Okay, so let's get back to our Arduino coding. Now if we get a response from the sensor as high, okay, now don't worry about this part right now, okay, because in this part I have explained, I have used a link here using which we are sending a notification SMS to ourselves or any other mobile number which we want. I will cover this part in the next video. Okay, so please stay tuned to our channel, and I will show you how to send an SMS whenever an intrusion is detected. Okay, and to just know that yes, it is working, the sensor is working, I have used two LEDs to indicate when we are getting an intrusion, the LED will blink up, else it will not blink. So I have given LED 1 and 2 as 0. We are simply ending the fetch process, and okay, so here our code is done, and now we will upload the code. There are some important things that you need to keep in mind while making this project. What I have actually done in this project is I have used two different node MCUs, one for attaching the servo motor and one for the PIR sensor. The reason is that if the intruder or any thief breaks your servo motor system, then your PIR sensor will absolutely work fine. Okay, what most of the people in the project does is they connect the lock as well as the sensor part together. So if the lock is broken, then your sensor part will also not work. But in our project, we have kept it separate. So even if your lock gets broken, your sensor part will absolutely work fine. So this is a unique point of our project. Okay, so now our code has been uploaded. So first we will turn the sensor off. Okay, so it's actually off right now, and we will check whether we are getting any data on the serial monitor or not. Okay, now the sensor is off, so most probably it should give as 0. Okay, so it is off, it's getting the data as off. Now don't worry about this -1. This -1 is there because we haven't done the SMS portion. Remember, there is an SMS portion there which will give us a notification. So we have not used that link in this code. So that's why it is giving -1. Okay. Now you can, as you can see on the screen, I am purposefully triggering the PIR sensor, but the lights will not blink. As you can see, the lights are not blinking since we have now turned off our PIR sensor. Now I will turn on the sensor. So I have turned the sensor on, and I will go back to my serial monitor and see I'm getting a value on here. Okay. Now I will intentionally trigger the PIR sensor and let's see what happens. So I have intentionally triggered the PIR sensor and you can see that the LED blinks. That is, there is an intrusion in the house. Now as you can see, there is a line here. Now this line will appear when you send a text message. Okay, so actually I have not used that text messages part here, so don't worry, I will explain that portion in the next video. Okay, now you actually know how to make a home security system using a servo motor and a PIR sensor. Make up to this, I will let you know, I will make another video on how to send an SMS whenever you detect an intrusion using PIR sensor. Okay, so please like our video, share our video, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon so that you receive the notification as soon as we upload our next video. Thank you and happy coding.